So now it's my pleasure to introduce the technical guy for us that helps us put all this stuff together. His name is Vania. He's the Director of Enterprise Architecture at UTD. And again, as I mentioned earlier, he's the Richardson Community US Ignite Technical Coordinator. So please welcome Vania.
Thank you, guys. As Mike told you, my name's G. I'm the guy that gets problems people can't solve. Whether it's a networking issue, a system issue, those kinds of things. At UT Dallas, out of the OIT department, when somebody can't resolve the issue, I'm the one that gets called. And so that kind of is a good fit for this situation. As these apps are being developed, I can help to connect the application to the resources that are available through UT Dallas. Some basic things that we're offering to the effort. Our campus network, we have space in the commercial data center on our campus. Genie rack is imminent. Talk a little bit more about that. Some advanced research networks, and some software-defined networking. So just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, this is an example of what's going on at UT Dallas. It's a little bit hard to see the legend over here, but you have some people out here. This person's using a tablet, this person's using a phone, wireless network here. These types of things typically go into an access layer switch, which goes up to a distribution switch, which goes up to a core device. That's a very common network structure, and that's exactly what there is at UT Dallas at the moment. From there, we go over here to the LEARN network, the state provider, and we can go out to the commodity internet, or we can also go over to the Internet 2 AL2S service. So what does all that mean? If you look at the legend a little bit here, you start to get an idea. This is a 1 gigabit Ethernet connection, an 802.11 RF connection. It's a 10 gigabit connection. These connections over here are 100 gigabit. And these purple ones over here are something called DWDM. So what does all that mean, and what does it mean in terms of what we're trying to do here? So traditionally, as people have been building things for the internet, kind of go through this path. Once you reach this path, there's no guarantee in terms of bandwidth or latency on the network. Go through 10 other routers or 10 other providers getting to the other end of the connection. So how are you going to build something that is real-time sensitive over that? You can't really. It's very difficult to do that. You can make, as in with the robotics, you can make accommodation for it and make it work out. But if you're trying to do a remote surgery, or if you're trying to do a concert where people are in different locations and you want that to happen over the network, you probably need the next generation of network. So these networks over here, we can guarantee bandwidth, we can guarantee latency upon. And the other ends of these are other Internet 2 points of presence, and also in this case, other Genie points of presence on the network. So we might want to have a live audio event in real time, and this makes that possible because we can guarantee the network characteristics between the 2 points, basically. Also, so we talked a little bit about the Genie rack. You see that down here. It's a big computer, offers some things. There's also another big computer here called Ganymede, which I'll talk a little bit about, that we're offering to the effort. This is a map of the Genie research networks. There are many different kinds of research networks, but this is one that in the next week or two is going to be available at UT Dallas. So our Genie rack, besides being on the internet so that folks can use it, it also connects to the Genie network. And so you see all these other sites with various Genie stuff going on. So you could very well partner with one of those places and conduct an experiment. This is a research network, so you can test out between 2 points on that network, basically. Hope you can hear me. So a few of the resources we talked about, Ganymede. It's 20 Dell R730 computer, so a full rack of computers. There's half a petabyte of storage in it, and it has really fast interconnect there. So this is being used today. This is available today at UT Dallas. It's doing a lot of mechanical engineering research right now. It's pretty new, so as time goes on, it'll start to pick up in utilization. So right now is a really good time if somebody needed to do an application or collect sensor data, aggregate it, and then do some processing on it. There's free cycles here available to do that with that we can offer to the effort. As both Mike and Scott said, Genie Rack is coming. It's got 5 computers in it, a software-defined network. It's got the capability to offer virtual machines and also to support Docker containers. So as you develop an app, if there's some processing that needs to be done in the midpoint between the app and the data, this can be used to do that with. And it's also offering the networking that's guaranteed. Another very interesting thing that happened, Frank, who's ill today, was able to negotiate for UT Dallas to get 10 racks of the old Stampede Supercomputer from TAC. Those are in flight at the moment, so in the next week or two, those will show up at UT Dallas, and you can kind of see the scale of things here. This is 400 cores, and this is 6,400 cores that are going to become available. So what I'm saying just is that we have some significant resources there in terms of networking. If you need high bandwidth, we can do that today, up to 10 gigabits per second, and then 100 gigabits to a research network. The systems have been built out and set up that they can grow to 100 gigabits per second very easily. There's a couple of line cards, a couple of things we would need to do to make that happen. So hopefully your app will do that. It will drive our bandwidth up, and we'll have an excuse to buy those and be able to offer better service. If there's anything I can do to help, my email address is on the page there. I'm actually out the next week at a conference, but as you have questions, by all means, send them. If I don't know the answer, I will find you an answer to the question.